Hello viewers, I'm here at the Rosal Primary Healthcare Center in Rosal, Kanji, Region 6. And today on The Resilient Woman, we'll be speaking with Medex Chandroutie Mohan and hearing a little bit about her story as we celebrate International Women's Day. Medex Chandroutie, it's a pleasure having you on the program today. And how are you doing?
I'm well. I'm doing fine.
And
Thank you for visiting.
you're welcome. And let me ask you, could you tell us a little bit about yourself before you get into your career and how you ended up at the health center here?
Okay. I am Chandroutie Mohan, Medex, Rosal Kanji East Berbice. I started my career in the Guyana National Service in 1977 to 1979 as a cadet. From there, in 1979 October, I joined the Georgetown School of Nursing. Where I was trained as a nurse. Right now, I'm a registered midwife, trained theater nurse, and a medics. So I've worked at Georgetown Hospital for a number of years with the government, but I also work at various primary health care centers, the Hinterland Hospital, the Riverine area, they doing outreaches with Ministry of Health every weekend. Also, Medivac any time of the day or night. Once it's an emergency, you have to go. So that is about working with Georgetown Hospital, different departments, all the departments. I work at Georgetown Hospital. I am a single parent. Never had no time I have a 35-year-old daughter who is a GMO, a General Medical Officer. Only recently she returned as a specialist in gastroenterologist. She's a gastroenterologist specialist. Anyway, as I'm on this topic, I must say thanks to my mom, my family members, and the community people in South Romwell Gardens being there for my daughter. As it is, I had to work for a living to care for my daughter. As I said before, I had no time. From day one, that was it. I live out. I go all over the place working with the government. I enjoy it, and I'm satisfied. During the days working with the government and being in the national service, start with the national service and working with the government, have learned a lot. I have learned to adapt myself to different situations, to be respectful to different people, different culture, religion, accept people, different religion, the culture, the language, the work. I have really understand how people live in all parts of this country. As I work at different hospitals in Guyana, in the hinterland, in Georgetown private institutions, with private doctors, with specialists. I work with all of these people.
Nurse Medex, I see you had a very extensive career in the field. What are some, as a woman in this field, it's very hectic. You mentioned you had a daughter and so forth. How could you state some of the challenges that you had over the years in the field?
Well, in the field, it was first a little difficult to be away from home because, as I mentioned, single parent, and then an old mom to look after your daughter, the neighbors. It was challenging. Even when the child growing up, I never attended a PTA meeting. The neighbors and family, they were there for her. So I never attend a PTA meeting. They see that she grew to be this type of person today. So it was challenging that part because sometimes I'm in the interior just with four walls, me alone in the room. When you finish working, you go home, nobody, at that time you had no cell phone or nothing to call. You had to depend on the radio set. Radio set. So they had to go far, I think as the Baha'i Center in Queenstown, before I could get contact with Georgetown.
Okay.
So it was challenging with that. But otherwise, I had some good experience in the hinterland with the Amerindian people. It was really good.
Okay, great. And now you're here at the Rosal Primary Healthcare Center. Could you talk about those persons that you would assist regularly from the estate, and how is that?
Okay. The estate policy is far different from the hospital policy. When I come here, I start dealing with the estate workers, dependents, the pensioners, and some community people. We don't refuse people from the community.
Okay.
Some severed workers, because this was a depressed area, so we never turn nobody away. So even the severed worker used to come for treatment up to day like today. So that's most about the children. Yes, the school is right next door. So we usually look at anybody from the community that need help. It's a 24-hour service.
Okay, great. And what are some of the injuries that people would come in from the estate mainly?
Snake bites, bee sting, lacerations, like a ingrowing toenail, accident in the back dam, so fractures, sprain. Yes.
And those kind of things. And how would you describe your experience here thus far and with your staff? I know that you have a small staff component, but how would you describe your daily experience with them?
The daily experience, yes, I would say very good, because sometimes we don't get, things going smooth at times. But we are big people, and we know they have learned me a lot. I have learned from them. They have learned from me. And we have a good relationship. We talk, and whatever is matter, we keep a meeting and discuss it, and it's finished right there and then. Okay. So we don't have no conflict.
Great. And if you had to do things over, would you change anything, or are you satisfied with this path that you've chosen?
Yes, I'm satisfied with the path, but the only thing I have regret is not being there for my daughter, because she started 5 years and still I'm not there for her. She's a grown woman now, so she have her life and I have my life.
What advice would you give to young women in the profession? How would you advise them to cope with the challenges that the profession brings with it? What would you advise them?
I would advise them to continue going. There's challenges, yes, in the nursing profession, but everything is a learning process, is an experience gain, a lesson learned. There's so much, and I would advise them to continue studying and go as far as possible. Just being a nurse is not it. Go for the midwifery, go for the health visiting course, go do the bachelor's degree, continue, or even go to the medic stage. From a medic, you could turn to go and study for a doctor. I would just advise these young medical professionals, continue climbing the steps. Don't stop. If somebody tell you to leave now and go to a different department, you go. It's a learning thing. It's a learning a learning profession. Every day you learn something new, and we should stick to it. So I would advise him, just keep going and going. Don't be abusive. Just take everything as an opportunity.
Great. And my final question to you, Medics Chandroutie, what is your next step in the career? When do you see yourself actually retiring? I know that you said to me earlier you really enjoyed doing,
Take
what
the
you do.
camera, tell you this piece. And I'm not prepared to stop working until I can't help myself. I would continue working. Even if I left here, I would go back and work, give voluntary counseling to the people in the community, and even continue being there because I'm a nurse and I'm a midwife. I keep up my registration so I could do deliveries. At least I could examine a pregnant mother, whatever advice. I would continue until I feel that I can't go anymore. But right now, I think I could go for another 3 or 5 years.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Medic Chandroutie, for allowing us to come and have a brief conversation with you in observance of this year's International Women's Day.
Okay. And happy Women's Day to you
Thank you
and your
very much.
colleagues. Thank you.
And thank you so much, viewers, for joining us on this episode of The Resilient Woman as we celebrate International Women's Day 2022. Remember to join us for other episodes that will run up to the 11th of March on all the Big Smith News Watch platforms. Thank you. Bye.
Your health is our priority, and at Anamaya Memorial Hospital, we offer 24-hour access to CT scan services, life-saving diagnostic imaging technology that can save your life today. With our state-of-the-art GE Lightspeed 16-slice CT scanner, we can readily scan for a fractured skull, bleeding in the brain, or any other injury with early detection of tumors. Call us today at 322-3478 or 322-3474 for more information. Our professionals are always ready to assist you at Anamaya Memorial Hospital as we continue to revolutionize healthcare in Berbice.
Did you know that a water meter helps you to save money? Metered GWI customers are billed based on the amount of water consumed. This allows you to manage your consumption to avoid a higher reading. Get to know your water service meter and save big on your next water bill. Support GWI's metering movement. Remember, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. A message from Guyana Water Incorporated.
Hope you've been enjoying the music. Let's pause for a quick commercial break.
It's bigger than ever. It's Comfort Sleep massive debt sale again. 26th of March at Comfort Sleep Industrial Site East Bank from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Biggest bargains, biggest deals. Don't miss this opportunity.
Saving and waiting for this all this time.
It's bigger than ever. It's Comfort Sleep massive debt sale again. 26th of March at Comfort Sleep Eccles Industrial Site East Bank Demerara from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Biggest bargains, biggest deals. Don't miss this
I hope
opportunity.
you got money to buy. Blessing toys. Comfort Sleep things will be so affordable. I can get what I want with the money I get. Alright? So let's don't waste no time. Let me go all into Comfort Sleep before Miss Noreen buy the whole of Comfort Sleep.
All COVID-19 safety measures will be observed. Don't miss this opportunity.
Comfort Sleep. Sleep on, dream on.